All right, so here we are. Oh, am I even still recording? Test. Just gonna have to trust I am. Okay. So, welcome to my quick demo of the computer I've been working on. Let me just get away from this music. I'm currently on Rusticated EU's creative server. I'll show the details of that once this loads up here. It's a great place to try and do this kind of build in peace and get it all figured out without having to worry about resources. And you can save and load between wipes, which is great. Especially if you intend to do a project like this, I cannot suggest this server enough. So here's, oh, it decided to load everything. Here's the tag that you're going to be looking for. And let me just clear plot here. I used the middle click to pull that up, like it says here. First, you're going to want to claim a plot. You can do that by just putting something down and then picking it up. Looks like it remembered my claim from earlier. And then you can middle click. You go to load plot. It's showing my builds right now, but if you go to community, you should be able to find this computer demo by Bard, which is my Steam name. And if you go ahead and load that up, and hopefully not end up in the terrain. There you go. And here's the thing. Let me just clear this. There. So the top two rows of lights are your registers, your first and second, which are also these here. And they connect to this mess here. You're going to see a lot of broadcasters, receivers. I chunked up the logic like I explained in the post. So you see more of that here and over here, etc. And I'll explain all of that in a second. But first, here's the two rows of lights. Let's go ahead and set our value of binary 1. I forget which term it is, but basically that's the biggest value. That's your 1, then 2, then 4, then 8. This is your register selector. So let's go ahead and select the top register and load it in. There it goes. And then we can select the bottom register, load it in. There it goes. And then over here you have your operation register, your operation selector. So right now all it does is addition, multiplication, subtraction. Later on you'll have both switches so that you can do other things. I'm still working on multiplication, division. But yeah, you have subtraction as well as addition. Addition is when it's turned off. So leaving it turned off, if we press the button, it takes both values, adds them together, and pops it back in the top register as a value of 2. If we load another 1 in second register, we can then add on our previous result to give us 3. And then if we load a 2 and flip this switch, we can subtract 2 from 3 to get 1. And the way that works is mostly over here, standard ripple adder setup. It just goes over and over and over again for all 4 bits, and then passes it on. This was going to be the multiplication mess. And then this part here is really just the interface panel. So when the button gets triggered, it'll send a clock signal on, let me just pull that there. I think it's on this one. Which then goes through all of them and sends a clock pulse through all, depending on what the current action is. So this is really just for register loading. This is for the operation of addition and subtraction. Do I have an example of the pulse mess? I do, right here. So how I make my pulses is the branch will send the signal to both blocks, and then one of the 2 blocks blocks the second. So when power comes, it hits both. Then the next tick, the active blocker will send its signal forward and then immediately get blocked by its second half. So you get a 1-tick pulse to go through the system. If you were to shove that on flipping timers, it would then continue. And if you are intent on staying just a little bit longer, I'll show you some other ideas from that. I think I have in the signaling demo an example. Yeah, there we go. There was a mention of how do you make a clock. Well, using the blockers, I guess I'm going to have to no-clip though you can already kind of hear what's going on. There you go. So flip-flopping timers flipping each other. And then over here we have a button which will flip both timers, sending it to this here, sending basically a single pulse after a delay, which then hits the blocker, hits the branch rather, goes through the two blockers, sends a pulse, and the pulse will snake through this section here. So that might have been a bit fast, so let's do it again. And then over here is a server killer, perhaps. Hopefully it won't be too mad if I turn this on. But it just sends a pulse in circles over and over and over again, and keeps refreshing itself power-wise using this branch here. Once I turn that off, it stops it. So yeah, bistable circuits, clock pulses. I will publish this one as well. Actually, I'll do it right now, and at the same time you can learn how to publish things on this if you want to share your own. So that would be my signaling demo here. I'll go ahead and publish build. Then if we go back to community, signaling demo is now here as well for you to play with. So with that, best of luck.